welcome everyone to another episode of the Blunderbuss special, spooky Halloween episode. Ooh. As with me as always, the illustrious Nate.
How's it going?
And today, as our special guest, we have our friend Rodger, who is a he used to spend time as a paranormal investigator, so I guess we'll call him a paranormal enthusiast. Of course, and
you've been downgraded.
I still do it. It's I'll explain why I don't later.
It's more of a hobby.
It's not like you don't fucking make money doing it.
Obviously.
Oh no, you got to get on TV for that shit.
But you know the thing is, money does get switched off between people, and I'll explain that later, and it pisses me off. But
okay,
continue.
Okay, well. Being Halloween, actually, we've been trying to get Rodger for a while. But, of course, being Halloween...
motherfucker. A while.
And being Halloween, we would like to do like ghost stories and other spooky things. And Rodger, like said, you used to be, like paranormal...
Big in the scene, man.
Paranormal investigate. And tell us, how did you get into that? What made you kind of dive your feet, get into that?
Well, I guess when, I've always been into all that paranormal stuff. Like, it has always been something that's really intrigued me. And I guess what really made me really want to think about it and just be like, what if, is Ghostbusters. The first Ghostbusters movie. We were scared shitless of Slimer, me and my twin brother. But we always thought, man, what if it is legitimate? What if it does happen? What if there are these things that really occur, poltergeists and specters and full body apparitions? What if it's real?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Just a lot of bubbly.
Yeah.
The champagne.
Yes, of course.
And
the high life.
So I
we did have in the green room. So
yeah.
Of course. Special note: we are doing this episode remote.
Police sirens.
It's ambiance.
So that's what really kicked it off, man. Just we loved that fucking movie, and we were like, oh wow, cool, yeah, Ghostbusters, yeah. And we were little, man. We were like in elementary school.
Oh yeah.
But we started, then we got into middle school. We got a little older, and we started going to the library and checking out all these books. But we weren't looking for ghost stories. We were looking for real documentation of real, like, events, like things that people really experienced.
Yeah.
And, we read books on the doppelganger and, again, poltergeists and apparitions and shadow people and all these different things from different books in the library. And so that kind of, like, sparked the huge interest, and we were always really into it. Going through middle school, high school, all that stuff, me and my brother, and also my uncle Fernando Moreno, he was really into that stuff. So he would buy us all these ghost books, these ghost hunting books, like Ghost of South Texas and all this stuff that's local. And he loves all that stuff, and we love that stuff. So he kind of helped foster that in us. And
he knew the right stuff to pick up to get for y'all. Yeah.
And so years later, I finished college. I was already finished with school. I moved back to San Antonio, and it was right around the time I met Wendy, my wife now. She was. We started watching the ghost hunting shows.
Yeah,
mainly Ghost Adventures. Of course, everybody knows Zach Bagans and Nick Groff and
is that the show where they just like talk shit to ghosts?
Basically, that's the one, yeah. And there was 3 big shows.
Yeah,
so
I think that guy got banned from. He's the one that got banned from the Alamo, right?
No, I don't know. No, that's Ozzy Osbourne, dude.
No. Because like some friends of mine, we were by the Alamo and stuff, and we were talking to, because pretty much you're not going to be able to go by the Alamo at night. After a while, because they're going to completely close it off, and they're like, yeah, you can't like do your equipment and stuff around here, because one of the guys, he was over here doing the Minger, and then he came over to the Alamo, and he was like being, I guess, very vulgar and like, you know, I guess trying to entice, I guess you could say, and like, you know, trying to draw other people into it and stuff. And he's not allowed around here anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be anybody. There's a lot of people that.
But apparently the guy's like known for it.
Yeah, there's. Well, so the three main shows that were happening at the time were Ghost Lab with Brad and Barry Kling, who are from San Antonio. They live in Converse, Texas.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're still pretty active in the stuff they do. Then there was the Ghost Adventures crew quiz, and they
what's your quiz?
so that was Nick Groff, Zach Bagans, and Aaron. Oh my God, I forgot his last name. Whatever. Aaron, I'll remember it. And then there was another group called Ghost Hunters. That was the first ghost hunting show.
I thought it was like Taps.
Yeah, Taps.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
Taps.
but
Taps. Yeah. Okay.
It's Ghost Hunters.
But their company is Tap. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
yeah, because I used to watch them.
Yeah. So they had three different like approaches. It was the Ghost Hunters was like, wait, did you see that? Wait, nope, nothing happened. That was Ghost Hunters. Ghost Adventure was like, oh my God, oh shit, did you see that? Oh my God,
the chair moved.
Oh my God, you know that was Ghost Adventure. And then
my balls.
And then the Ghost Lab guys were like, they were very heavy into the provoking, so they were always like, come on, you wuss out, you're not gonna do anything. So that was a three like big things. Everybody had their own different thing. That was the different things about the shows. But so we started watching these shows. Me and Wendy and my brother, we really got into it. And so they would do simple, like the simplest thing they would do is take a voice recorder or any sort of voice recorder, and they would ask questions, or they would listen to the whatever they recorded, and they would hear voices, or they would hear responses to their questions. So I thought, man, if they can get those types of results, could I get stuff like that? Would I be able to go out there and get a spirit voice, or what they call it's called the electronic voice phenomenon, right? Could I capture that stuff? I wonder if I could do it. All I need is a voice recorder, just a little crappy voice recorder, and then let's see if we can do it. So me and Wendy went and bought some voice recorders, and then I said, well, we need a camera too. We need a camera with night shot, with night vision. So I remember we
watch people bang in the dark.
So we went out to what's that Air Force base right there off of 35?
Which one?
Fort Sam. Is it Fort Sam?
That's not an Air Force base. That's an Army post.
Army base, whatever. The place that's off of 35 in New Braunfels. That's Fort Sam, right?
Oh, in New Braunfels.
No. Off of New Braunfels, the street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Fort Sam. So we went and met a guy, and we bought our first little camera. It was this little crappy Sony with night shot, like the night vision feature.
Yeah.
And you recorded to mini, like little DVDs. Remember the little DVDs?
No, yeah.
That's what it was. And it obviously was way outdated because they had other stuff that was way better than that. But that's what we got.
It was affordable, is what it was.
Yeah, it was like $30.
Hey.
So that's what we started doing, and we kind of started going to different little places to go see if we can find anything, get any sort of. So we went to like the missions on the south side. We went to any spot we thought we could find just ourselves, right? And then I just had this idea, well, I'm going to make my own paranormal team, like a little queer. And so I started this paranormal team called Shadowlight Paranormal. But this was kind of before that we went out with this group called San Antonio Ghost Hunters, and we would go do things with them. So that's when we started having our first real experiences with these sorts of things. Gonzales County Jail is a place I've been to a lot.
Oh, really?
With them, with various other groups, and with the guy I work with now. And that's where we had a lot of really great experiences, man, and just stuff that I cannot explain. But those were the first places we went. Gonzales County Jail, we did a bunch of different private home investigations with this group. And then we kind of just were like, man, these guys they think everything's a fucking ghost, man. Like, you know, there's fucking, the leaves are rustling. It's a fucking ghost. Oh, or hey, did you hear that? It's a ghost. No, man, fucking Sam back there was fucking, like, burping, dude. It's not a fucking ghost, you know?
Yeah.
And so we got tired of that shit, and we just kind of, that's when I decided I'm going to do my own shit. And that's when I was a queer, and I started my own fucking paranormal team called Shadowlight Paranormal. My brother built a website and stuff. And, dude, we got a lot of people calling us to go and come to my house. I have ghosts.
Really?
Well, no, you don't have ghosts, man. You have fucking Christmas decorations up since fucking December of, like, last year. It's fucking July, and there's all these empty vodka bottles all over the place. You don't have ghosts, dude. You have a drinking problem. True story. True story.
You got rats, bro.
Where'd you get that fucking harpoon, man? Okay, we're the fuck out of here. Bye. True fucking story.
Where did you get that harpoon?
Yes. True story. True story. Like, okay, so
You have to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I
So-
know. It's,
so-
like, it's like, don't tell me a Bob story. Holy shit,
Yeah.
with no context.
so,
God damn it.
so aside from
Better not be no cat story.
aside from like really like aside from really like having places where we went and had some real experiences with people, we had some crazy nut job shit happen. This was the craziest one. Ready? This guy calls me and says, "Hey, man, you know, I got this weird picture of something with my wife, and there's this real weird shadow thing, this figure that got caught on this camera, because, you know, my wife, I think, is cheating on me, so I started setting up hunting cameras, and so it takes pictures of people and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and,
movement, yeah.
yeah, and so it just it takes pictures and still shots of whatever's happening, and, you know, man, there's this real weird picture, man. It looks like this weird, you know, like apparition, man. I don't know what it is, and then there's there's this thing where there's somebody walking out the door. It looks like a person walking out the door, but my wife says nobody was in the house with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, cool, man. Fuck yeah, it's a fucking real shit. Get ready. Load up our fucking gear. Let's go, Wendy. And I said, hey, send me some of the fucking pictures, dude. And he's like, oh, yeah. Oh, I've got to find him. Oh, I got to find him. No, fuck, I deleted him. Blah, blah. So back and forth. All right, well, let's just go and see what's like. So Wendy went with me, right? And we went to this dude's house. I forget his name. He was a nice dude. Real nice guy, man. But we walk into the house, and he's like, dude, thanks for coming, man. Nobody believes me that I think this place is haunted. I think some weird stuff's happening, and I think my wife's cheating on me. Okay. So he kept on saying that shit. And so I was like, okay. So we walk in, and dude, it's like July, and like there's literally all the Christmas decorations are still up. The tree is up. Stockings are hung. Mistletoe. Everything. All that shit's up. And then there's bottles of McCormick's vodka. Just everywhere you could see. Like, I swear I could scan the room, and there was one. Every foot. In the room. On the floor. All over the place.
Jeez.
The whole house is kind of messed up, whatever. And so we go and we sit and
amongst the McCormick
bottles. and he's on the laptop, and he's like, just hold on, just let me find these pictures, man. Hold on, I deleted them. Let me find them. Like, hold on, it's right here. Hold on. And he's just fucking looking for these pictures. Here it is. So he shows me the picture, and I look at it, and it's this weird figure, and it shows his wife. His wife is behind this figure, and she's like in a hoodie. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Let me look at it. So I keep looking more into that picture, and then I notice, wait a second. Dude, that's the top of a 40-ounce Budweiser or something, like a brown bottle. You can clearly see that it's a fucking bottle, and that's what that is. What? Oh, is that? I was like, yep, that's what it is. Oh, okay. Well, look at this picture. And You know, like he's scrolling. Look, there's a guy in the door. You see the guy? But nobody was in the house. I'm like, hold on. There's a guy in the door, and you think your wife is cheating on you. I was like, look, I'm sorry, man. That looks like a person. Like somebody was in the house with your wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, come to the boathouse. Okay, so we're going to go to the boathouse. And he's got a boat in this garage, and we're in there. And he says, look, man, it's never been like this. You know the tape, the paper tape that they put with the wall.
Oh, for painting?
After they for the creases on the sheetrock.
Yeah,
and they cover them. What is it called? The taping.
Yeah, it's just tape.
Yeah.
Taping and floating.
And then they put the spackle or whatever over it, and they sand it down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that stuff has started.
It's floating.
Yeah, they started coming down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, look, man, this started happening. My son lives back here, and this started happening, and we don't know what's going on. Like the walls are doing weird things. I'm like, did you guys ever paint this part? Did you ever finish? No, man, it's just been like this the whole time. I was like, well, I mean, the tape's just falling off of the wall, man. It's nothing. There's no ghost, you know. And humidity, exactly. Yeah. And so I was like, okay. And so we come back into the house, and he's like, okay, well, hold on, let me look at this. I gotta find something. We walk out of the house. We're going back. We go in the house. I walk back out, and the guy looks at me, and he looks at right by the doorway in the backyard. He's like, "Hey, man, where'd you get that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Where'd I get what?" He says, "That harpoon, like this is one of those harpoons, those handheld like hook harpoon things."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was standing.
Oh, a gaff.
Yeah, the gaff.
Yeah.
You know, it was standing in the doorway, like propped up, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. That wasn't there. What are you talking about? It wasn't there. I was looking for it. It was on the boat. It was on the boat. Blah, blah. Where did that come from? And I was like, so I got excited. Oh, shit, it's real paranormal stuff. This is a real fucking, like, ghost story, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know, man. I was freaking out, panicking. And then Wendy looked at me like, let's get the fuck out of here. This is fucking crazy.
This dude got drunk. Moved the
and
gap. Yeah.
And I said, yes, blah, whatever.
Gonna make it.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it after all. And so I was like, hey, so Wendy wanted to split. She started freaking out. I was okay, let's leave. So we left. And she was like, what's wrong with that guy? I was like, I don't know, but there was nothing paranormal there, and I gotta tell this guy. I gotta tell him what I think, because why do I have to be a fucking like counselor right now? I don't want to be a fucking counselor, but I had to for this guy. Like this dude wanted answers. I said, look, man, I don't think you're having many paranormal experiences. I think your wife might be cheating on you, and the person that you saw in that camera is another person, maybe another guy. I think you need to have a conversation with your wife and figure it out. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything paranormal is happening in your house. Yeah, man, I needed somebody to verify it for me. Like, I needed, like, somebody to look at what I saw and just really tell me the truth. And it was sad. It was really sad, man. I was like, fuck. I want to find fucking ghosts, motherfucker. What the fuck, man? So...
I'm not a marriage counselor.
Yeah, so that was the fucking worst shit I ever dealt with.
The only dead thing is their marriage.
Yeah. Oh. Hey.
Yeah, it's all the dead bottles.
Happy Halloween. Yeah, your wife is cheating on you.
God, yeah, that's so fucked up.
So, anyways, man,
so fucked up.
That was one of our first experiences. Had nothing to do with any of that shit.
That was one of your first going on a site and shit. Oh,
yes.
Really? Wow.
So, but I mean, but
that's
then
just like, okay, I'm done. Fuck this.
All right. So that's some of the weird shit that we've had to deal with, and you know, people want to find answers in something, you know, and they're not really looking at the answers sometimes, and they just think it's what they think it is, and until somebody says, no, man, it's not. Like, you get slapped in the face with reality. And but Now for a real story, right?
Okay, real story.
Really? All right, here you go. So
Finally.
the most,
God.
the
Like a dude in a harpoon, man.
this is
Sounds like a Scooby-Doo episode.
yeah. It was Farmer Jim touching all the kids and putting on a ghost mask. So, the first real experience that me and Wendy had together was with San Antonio Ghost Hunters, and that's a group that we kind of just kind of got away from.
Yeah.
But they gave us our first opportunity. It was a meetup group.
Mm-hmm.
You remember meetup groups? You ever doing that shit?
No.
Where it's basically it's a meetup group. You go and it's a fucking like, hey, meet up here and let's go do this shit. So we went to a bunch of different places, but we decided
a texting group.
Yeah. So we ended up going to Gonzales County Jail in Gonzales, Texas. It's basically a museum for the history of Gonzales or whatever.
Oh, really?
And cool jail. I mean, it's a place you would think it looks like it's fucking haunted, right? I mean, and so we went and we were just kind of wandering around, and a bunch of people were there with us, and a number of people were there, and we just were like, man, these guys are doing whatever they want to do, and it's just kind of weird. Let's go do something else. So we went outside, and at that point, I had already purchased some paranormal equipment, better cameras, and all this stuff, and better voice recorders. And I had one of the paranormal devices called the EMF, the Mel meter, which is it reads fluctuations in the EMF field, has a temperature probe, and has a proximity sensor. The antenna, you can touch it, and anything that has conductive properties will set it off.
Huh.
Okay, yeah, and it's got like 4 lights on on top, and just like old school tenant. Yeah, that's what Dale and Lane have.
Yeah, and dude, those are really cool. I've never had it go off.
No.
And when it has gone off, I was always like, no, it's the fluorescent lights. Oh, it's something else. It's your cell phone. It's your walkie-talkie setting it off. And anyways, so we had it, and we were outside. It was going to be right about 10 o'clock, and Wendy was sitting in a little corner area. There was an office right behind her. There was a door, then about 3 tall windows, and I was standing in front of her on the outside of the building, and the camera was facing her. She had a camera facing me. She had her voice recorder. We put one on the windowsill and one right next to her. And we were just standing out there. And we're just kind of waiting. Asking questions like, hey, we're here to communicate with you if you want to, all the bullshit that you ask, right? And we're kind of waiting. And then we heard the bells. The bells from the city hall went off at 10 o'clock. So 10 bell tolls. Ding, 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 ding. 10 of them. And that happened, and is immediately after that, we heard this. Wendy looked at me and she said, "Did you hear that?" I said, What are you talking about?" I heard somebody say, "Here they come." I said, "What? No, I didn't hear that."
It goes off. Nice.
I heard.
Way to ruin
she said,
it.
I heard. Here they come. It's like, no way, really? Yeah, it was loud. Somebody said, "Here they come," and I didn't hear it. I was okay. Let me look at the video, and I looked at the video, and I listened to the audio, and I was like, oh, there's something there. So I went and listened to my voice recorder that I placed on the window, and it's kind of there. And then right on the voice recorder where Wendy was at, it was clear as day. After the bells, ding, 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 right, 10 bells, you clearly hear, "Here they come."
Oh, that's crazy.
Clear as day. And there was nobody around us. it was so quiet that it couldn't have been somebody yelling, because nobody's going to just yell.
Mm-hmm.
It was so ridiculous. That was the first EVP that we ever captured. But she heard it in real time. That's the thing about Wendy. She would be able to hear things.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't hear them. But if she says it happened, you go back and go to the recording, and you can hear it. It's fucking nuts. Like, I don't know how she does that.
Well, she's just perceptive, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
and,
crazy.
Jump forward many, many years, right? 2 or 3 years later, I started working with my friend Alejandro Dominguez and Jay Villarreal. Jay Villarreal used to be with SAPN, San Antonio Paranormal Network. And he had been doing paranormal investigation for like 10 years. And then I worked with Alejandro. We met through him, and we started doing stuff. He's from Austin. He has a YouTube show called Dead Explorer. And we started doing a bunch of stuff. So he found out. I hooked him up with Gonzales County Jail and the jail. There's also a jail in Floresville. I forget what it's called. But that's our first experiences. I took them to those places, and we ghost hunted there. So we went to Gonzales County Jail. The first time we went back to Gonzales County Jail with me, Jay, his brother Alejandro, and a few other people were there. I said, hey, when the bells tolled at 10 o'clock, we had a really weird experience. Let's go back out there, and let's see if we can have another experience. And just because the theory is that there's trigger objects. Things like trigger these events to happen. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe the bell's a trigger. So we were out there, right? Watching, waiting. I mean, just kind of hanging out. Yeah, looking at. Jay was taking some pictures. He had some funny stuff happen in his pictures, but nothing real serious. And the bells went off. And so we're like waiting. And Jay says, hey, my camera just died. What? Yeah, my camera just died. And I said, what? Yeah, dude, I had full batteries. It's dead. The camera's dead. And I walked to my camera, which I had on the floor facing the same place where Wendy was at. And I looked, and I said, dude, my camera's dead too. It had like 50 minutes on it left. It's completely dead. And so we had this weird experience of like battery drain, which is what people say happens.
Yeah.
Crazy. So that was one of the other like the second big experience there in Gonzales County Jail. But yeah, that's it so far.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, they should.
Yeah, I see Bob's gonna start getting antsy.
Yeah, dude, gotta get the wind blowing, you know. All right, Rodger, thank you for sharing with us. Of course, we're gonna have you back on the next week's show, and we're talking about more about this because, like I said, we're
been like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Ruin the magic.
Awesome, man. Great.
Anyway,
hey, man. I mean, it's not, all fun and games, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening. It was with me the illustrious Nate.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Likes on the Twitters and the YouTubes. Thank you very much, and have a good night. That was good. That's real good. Yeah.
And I see Bob starts getting all antsy and shit. Of course, it was like really cutting it.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cut it
Then we
close.
got to talk through the loud music.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh.